Hey friends, Mike, Fundamentals for Training and Protection. Been thinking a little bit about some of the way things are happening nowadays. We know that there's a shortage in primers. Primers are really hard to get to. Our ammunition sources are not as prevalent as what it used to be. And some concerns that I myself is having, some other people that I'm talking about, is we're getting an influx of these new primers so we can kind of keep up with things. And primers, right? They're coming from all over the world. This little piece right in here, right? That's the primer, that little part right inside there. One recent place I was talking to, they were getting their primers from South Africa. Not to saying that they're not make good primers, however, primers are coming from all different sources. And when we are not getting good quality primers, we have problems. One of the biggest problems that we come up with now is we have a primer strike that goes click and not bang. This little piece inside there can become the Friday at 5 o'clock primer, right? Friday at 5 o'clock primer in your personal defense weapon, when you're put to the test, that's a bad day. That's a bad day. So we can have failures in our primers, which makes the gun not function properly. When the gun doesn't function properly, we have to immediately recognize that issue. It goes click, tap, charge, and then come back out for our follow-up engagement. I like to refer to them as remediating, fixing something that's been broken. Primers, failure to charge it, failure to seat your magazine and put a round in, or just simply putting the magazine in and not charging, bad primer. The list kind of goes on and on for that type 1 remediation. Number one thing is, right, not maybe number one, but another contributing factor and something really to think about right nowadays, especially with the stuff that's going on, are primers that are subpar. How do we fix something like that? We want to think about, we can make our engagement, the gun goes click, it doesn't go bang, tap the magazine, ensure that it's seated, charge that gun, come back out, find our sights, ensure the threat is still there, and then make an engagement. How are we working that, right? If we're not out on the range, we can't always be on the range because it gets expensive. And I got a couple little tips and tricks to use. I really like dummy rounds. Dummy rounds are very, very handy and cost effective. However, another little way that I work specifically my type 1 remediations is I have my gun, find the threat, oh, it goes click, tap, charge, and then come back up on the threat. Well, how are you doing that with a fully loaded magazine or with dummy rounds and not injecting anything? I'm glad you asked. Little tip here, I take my magazine, I spray paint it silver, right? And then on the inside, I take out the spring and the follower, right? No spring, no follower. So now when I insert it, it doesn't lock it to the rear. So I get the method, the muscle memory of tapping the magazine so I'm not hitting an open well, which can kind of hurt your hands a little bit. Tap the magazine, charge the gun, it resets the primer or resets the firing pin so I can come up, make an engagement if it's there. If not, I come back in, find my sights. Oh, there it is. Oh, one click, tap, charge, and then back out. Again, just take that follower and the spring out of the gun. Allows you to do type 1 remediations without the hassle of picking up all the dummy rounds. Just another little way of practicing stuff. Test it.